Welcome to the University of Texas at El Paso. Bienvenidos a la Universidad de Texas en El Paso. Thank you all for joining us here today to celebrate and express our deep appreciation for this investment in our university and in our community. I'd like to recognize some very special guests who have joined us here today, and I'd ask that you hold your applause until all of them are introduced. From the United States Congress, we are honored to have Congresswoman Veronica Escubar and representing Representative Tony Gonzalez's office, Regional Director Rodrigo Estrada. From our delegation to the Texas Legislature, we have Senator Céasar Blanco. Representative Art Fierro is here, as well as Representative Joe Moody. Our announcement today is going to have a huge impact on the El Paso region, so I'm particularly pleased to see so many El Paso elected officials here. El Paso Mayor Oscar Leeser, County Judge Ricardo Samaniego, County Commissioner Ileana Holguin, County Commissioner David Stout, and El Paso City Council member Isabela Salcido. También me gustaría dar la bienvenida a algunos amigos de México. Maurilio Fuentes, who is the Undersecretary of Education of the state of Chihuahua, attending on behalf of the Governor, Maria Eugenia Campos Galvan. Mariana Barraza, from the Office of the Consul General de Mexico in El Paso, from the Office of the Consulate General in El Paso, and representing the Mayor of Juarez, Ivan Perez, the Economic Development Director. We are also pleased to have our colleagues from the University of Texas System who have traveled from Austin to be with us here today. Our new student regent, Neil Mutiala, a fourth-year medical student at the University of Texas Health Sciences Center, Houston, and our former student regent who served when this building was approved from UTEP, Daniel Dominguez. Executive Vice Chancellor for Business Affairs, Jonathan Pruitt, and of course our Chancellor, J.B. Milliken, who we will hear from in a few moments. We are also pleased to have many of our industry partners here to celebrate this groundbreaking with us, and our faculty, staff, and students, including our faculty leader, Provost John Wiebe. We are here to celebrate and say thank you to all of those continuing to support UTEP's continued research and leadership in the development of talent. Thank all of you for joining us here today. From 1914, when we were established as the College of Mines, UTEP's roots are in engineering, and we're pretty good at it. UTEP is a national center of academic excellence in cyber defense and cyber operations. There are only 21 universities in America that can say that. 21 out of some 4,000 American universities in a computing program that has grown from 400 students 6 years ago to 1,400 this semester. Through our Keck Center for 3D Innovation, UTEP became the first satellite center of America Makes, the national initiative on additive manufacturing innovation. UTEP's Aerospace Center led the development and installation of the integrated system of systems that protects El Paso Airport from low-altitude drones, the first operational system of its kind in the United States of America. And on Friday, in Florida, NASA's Artemis 1 is scheduled to launch the machines that will put people back on the moon to stay, and from there, go to Mars. For 6 years, Juan Carlos Lopez, 2008 UTEP mechanical engineering graduate, led teams of engineers and technicians to analyze and test NASA spacecraft, including the unmanned spacecraft that will soon be on its way to the moon. Today, he's working at Microsoft on the next generation of computing programs we will need for space exploration. Ariana Guerrero finished her graduate degree in metallurgical materials and biomedical engineering a year ago. She's been working for NASA and just returned from Kennedy Space Center working on Artemis. UTEP advances discovery while developing the gifts of our students. As America's leading Hispanic-serving university, UTEP is providing engineering talent for Texas and beyond. UTEP is the 4th in the nation for awarding bachelor's degrees in engineering to Hispanic students. UTEP is ranked #1 in the nation for awarding doctoral degrees to Hispanics in engineering. This isn't an accident. UTEP chooses inclusive excellence, opening doors to opportunity to students historically underserved by higher education. And we can't do this alone, which is why we're here. Our leadership in Austin and our representatives in Washington, D.C. have been making sure that we have the resources we need to do our important work in research and education. They have been instrumental in securing millions of dollars in research support for our aerospace and advanced manufacturing programs. For that, we are deeply grateful. UTEP's growing engineering programs need room. We needed a new building with large spaces for big machines. In 2019, the University of Texas Regents provided the funds needed for the facility we are breaking ground on today. The Regents provided $70 million then, and when the price of construction went up, the system staff helped us find $10 million more. This building would not be possible without their dedicated support, and we're here today to express our thanks. Our biggest champion in this process has been Chancellor James Milliken. As Chancellor, he oversees one of the largest public university systems in the United States, with 13 health and academic institutions. UT institutions enroll more than 240,000 students. It's just a decimal place. And employ more than 100,000 healthcare professionals, researchers, faculty, and support staff. He is an exceptional system leader who understands and supports our mission. Please welcome Chancellor J.B. Milliken.
The president is so focused on UTEP that when she talks about enrollment, she can only remember UTEP's enrollment, not the entire university system. Thank you, President Wilson. It's great to be back in El Paso in what is, I often tell my colleagues and anyone else who will listen around the country, the most beautiful campus in the United States. And it's also, as you heard from President Wilson, one of the most impactful institutions in the United States. I'm honored to join all of you to break ground on what will be a major investment in the future of young people in the region and of the economy in El Paso and beyond. It will be another boost to UTEP's research ascendancy and its commitment to its students and to the future of this part of Texas and Mexico. So we have a rare opportunity where the talent and the leadership and the momentum and the resources come together. I'm going to say a word or two about my colleague, President Wilson, who was the first president that I had the opportunity to bring to the University of Texas system. And that will always be a point of pride with me. She is not only providing great leadership in the state of Texas, but nationally, where one of the most important things that has happened in the country with regard to research universities recently was a dramatic announcement in Washington about a new coalition of the largest Hispanic research universities in America. You would be able to name these major research universities from across the country. The person they chose to lead this group at his inaugural chair Heather Wilson, of course. So leaders talk about a 10,000-foot view of their organization and the world. I'm afraid in the case of President Wilson, this is a literal. She's an active pilot, and when her feet aren't on the ground here and doing good work for UTEP, she's often flying around UTEP. And while she sends pictures over the weekend, I see my Twitter feed full of scenes from the campus from above, the city from above. It's not lost on me that what she's really doing is scouting for new space to expand the university's research and education buildings. So given her record as Secretary of the Air Force, as one of the first female graduates of the Air Force Academy, her leadership in the country in aerospace and in the Air Force, makes all the sense in the world that she would be leading this transformation at UTEP. She has the passion, the insight, and the experience to make El Paso and UTEP a powerhouse and a destination for aviation and additive manufacturing. I can't think of anyone better to be at the helm right now to do this. And with the support of her impressive colleagues, a number of whom I met today, and I will say this, even more impressive students who I met today, this will grow into an even more important hub of innovation and economic growth and excellence for the community. The AMAC will open the doors to success for students from the Paso del Norte and beyond, set to train more than 600 students each year in high-demand fields like additive manufacturing, rocket and drone technologies, and 3D printing, which will buoy these individuals' careers, but also our region. I want to thank the people who have helped make this possible. Representative Escobar, who has been a friend since I came to Texas and a guide in Washington, and I thank you so much. Senator Blanco, also a friend since I arrived in Texas, and been a great aid to the University of Texas system. My friend Joe Moody, who I told him I couldn't tell whether it was the graying of his beard or what, but he's looking wiser all the time. So thank you, Representative Moody. Mr. Mayor, thank you, and thanks to everyone for what you have done to make this day possible. The Dean, who is going to follow me and bat cleanup for anything I've said that's incorrect. He won't correct my lauding of the President, I assure you, but who will guide the new Dean and guide the development of the Advanced Manufacturing Aerospace Center to set the course for our graduates. I want to share my appreciation for the excellent work of our faculty at UTEP, who are going to be responsible for the research, the education, and the success of generations of students. So on behalf of the Board of Regents of the University of Texas System, who, as you heard from the President, dedicated $80 million of permanent university fund to this project, that's our oil money. So our oil money from West Texas is coming back into El Paso to support this project. I thank you all for your support. I look forward to great things happening here. And I saw there were hard hats, but I brought my own hat. So thank you all for being here. It's a great day for UTEP.
Thank you, Chancellor. Now I'd like to introduce you to the newly arrived Dean of our College of Engineering, Dr. Kenneth Meissner. Ken earned his bachelor's degree in electrical engineering at Lehigh and his doctoral degree in optical sciences from the University of Arizona. I think he couldn't decide what he wanted to study, so he did both. He did a postdoc in surface physics at the Surface Physics Group at the Sandia National Laboratories, and then following stints at Virginia Tech and Texas A&M, Dr. Meissner served as head of physics at the College of Engineering at Swansea University in the United Kingdom, and later stepped into the role of Pro-Vice Chancellor and Executive Dean of the Faculty of Science and Engineering at Swansea. In addition to his academic career, Ken has worked with several companies to develop a non-invasive glucose measurement system for people with diabetes. We welcome him and his family to the borderlands and look forward to his leadership of the college. Dean Meissner.
Thank you, President Wilson. It has been a very warm welcome within the community and at UTEP. On behalf of the College of Engineering, I would like to echo the sentiments of President Wilson and Chancellor Milliken and extend a warm minor welcome to everyone here today. It's a very exciting day for our engineering faculty, students, and for the border region as a whole. As a new Dean of Engineering, I couldn't be more excited to be participating in this celebration, as well as looking at the bright future the AMAC building represents for us as a community. A new building is more than simply adding square feet. It represents the culmination of vision and years of research and hard work. It represents opportunities, not only for our students, faculty, and researchers, but also for our industry and agency partners, many of whom are here today. And while too numerous to name, I'd like to thank everyone for coming today, all our partners. UTEP Engineering is well known for providing a diverse cohort of students with a hands-on experiential learning experience that translates exceptionally well to industry and the real world. Our college produces nearly 900 graduates a year and was recently recognized, as Professor Wilson, or President Wilson pointed out, named number one for graduate engineering awards to Hispanic and Latino students. We have a strong foundation of partnerships with industry and a growing international and national reputation for research. The Keck Center for 3D Innovation and the Aerospace Center have been key components in the development of the College of Engineering. Straddling research and education, advanced manufacturing, and aerospace research at UTEP has provided a rich experiential training environment for undergraduate and postgraduate students. The Advanced Manufacturing and Aerospace Center will be a 4-story, 98,000 square foot structure that will house the Keck Center for 3D Innovation and the Aerospace Center. The research capacity added by the AMAC will enable us to not only continue our state-of-the-art research in advanced manufacturing and aerospace, but will also allow us to expand our innovative translational and entrepreneurial activities, driving economic development in the region. It'll also be a key enabler for meeting the College of Engineering's 2030 projections of enrolling 6,000 students, there's that decimal point again, graduating 1,400 students annually and attaining a research expenditure of $27 million. I had to be careful not to say pounds there. As a nucleation site for innovation, where world-leading research meets experiential learning and economic development, the AMAC building will be a center and will help us strengthen our R1 status at UTEP. Now, the AMAC building would not have been possible without the vision, passion, and leadership of Dr. Ryan Wicker, the founder and director of the Keck Center for 3D Innovation, and Dr. Hassan Chidori, the founder and director of the Aerospace Center. Dr. Wicker and Dr. Chidori each built their own rich history of research at UTEP from the ground up. Both centers have emphasized coupling student training and world-leading research to produce graduates who are talented, driven, and ready to impact the region and change the world. So thank you to both Ryan and Hassan. Our commitment to continue working together to advance engineering education and expand the pipeline of highly skilled engineers is our utmost priority. This major expansion of facilities at UTEP is an indication of the bold 21st Century College of Engineering and UTEP's commitment to interdisciplinary research and advanced teaching and learning. The AMAC will continue the proud minor tradition of service to our students, community, region, and nation. We look forward to forging new partnerships surrounding this new facility, and the AMAC is just a wonderful example of investments in academia helping to foster corporate and government and industry partnerships. I invite you, everyone here, to stay engaged, lead purposefully, for inclusiveness and innovation, learn through collaboration, and join us to ensure the next generation of engineers continues moving El Paso and the region forward. Go Miners, vamos Mineros.
Thank you, Dean. And I wanted to add my personal thanks and congratulations to both Dr. Wicker and Dr. Chidori for your continued success and your research leadership. You know, great buildings are nothing without exceptional faculty that drive forward knowledge and its application. We really appreciate your leadership. It is also now my pleasure to introduce one of UTEP's and El Paso's most important advocates in Washington, Representative Veronica Escubar. I got to know Congresswoman Escubar in my previous role. She is the Vice Chair of the House Armed Services Committee on Military Personnel. And I have to tell you, she is intelligent, she is hardworking, and she is a passionate advocate for El Paso. It's been great to get to work more directly with her on things that matter to UTEP and to this region. She is a proud UTEP graduate, and even before being elected to the Congress, she identified advanced manufacturing as well as healthcare as two areas where strategic investments could improve the prosperity and quality of life for El Paso. She is a visionary leader, particularly in the area of advanced manufacturing. We would not be here today without her leadership and her involvement. Congresswoman Escobar.
Buenos dias. It is, oh my gosh, to see all these beautiful UTEP students, your incredible faces. It's wonderful to see you. You're why we're here. Thank you all so much for being here. Dr. Wilson, thank you for including me. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your vision. Chancellor, thank you for this incredible investment, which will be transformative, and I want to talk about why in just a moment. And as always, welcome to El Paso. This is your home, and we're so glad to have you. Dean, this is your home, literally, now. We're so happy to have you as well. I really look forward to collaborating with you. Senator, representatives, judge, mayor, Dr. Chidori, friends, familia, this is an incredible day. And the Chancellor did a wonderful job, as did Dr. Wilson and the Dean, of laying out the significance of these programs and the significance of this investment in this building. I want to zoom out just a little bit and talk about the impact of this on El Paso. And Chancellor, this will be part of your legacy in El Paso, Dr. Wilson, Dean, Dr. Chidori, and we're of course missing Dr. Wicker. When I first met Dr. Chidori, I can't even remember when. I was in county government. I was privileged to be the county judge of this great community. He came and asked for our Fabens Airport. And he laid out a vision for how he wanted his students to be able to use that airspace at the airport. And it was so exciting to think about the county partnering with UTEP in this way, our key institutions really thinking about the future. And the more that I had the opportunity to visit with Dr. Chidori and Dr. Wicker, the more that I learned and became excited about our shared values, which include not just creating great graduates at UTEP in whatever way we could assist at the county, but also seeing that talent make a difference out in the world in an exceptional way. But there was a downside to doing that. And the downside was that El Paso found herself in the same position she's been in over and over again, in that El Paso and UTEP were producing fantastic talent that other communities and other corporations could then take advantage of. So in effect, we have for a long time been exporting our talent, which is a great opportunity for El Pasoans, a great opportunity for UTEP graduates. But what about El Paso? And we then, our conversations then led into a greater conversation about how we create a new economic development vision for El Paso by tapping into the manufacturing capacity in El Paso, combining it with the talent that he and Dr. Wicker, among others, were producing, and make sure that for those El Pasoans who want to build a life and a home here, who want to use their talent to build a great community right here in their hometown, where they could raise their family and contribute their brilliance and their talent, how about them? How about we create a space for them beyond graduation? And so in my capacity as a member of the House Armed Services Committee, it has been exciting to be able to work with UTEP and with the Keck Center and with the Aerospace Department as led by Dr. Wicker and Dr. Shidori to try to execute on that vision. And UTEP now has a very incredible front row seat in a way to the way that the world is changing. And the world is changing as we see adversaries work to outcompete us, as we see attacks on democracies, as we've seen in Ukraine by Russia. And as we continue to try to help our allies and our friends across the globe with military assets, how do we build back? How do we then fill in the gaps, not just for our defense here at home, but as we think about the future and modernizing our military? What role can and should UTEP and this incredible facility potentially play? What role could those small manufacturers with the brilliance of those graduates ultimately play? We think that El Pasoans can, should, and will play a significant role in that future, in keeping our country safe, in leading in terms of manufacturing, innovation, brain power, talent, heart, and we can do it right here from El Paso, Texas. And thank you. And so, Chancellor, as you think about the investment that you've made, as we celebrate and break ground on this investment, really what we are furthering is one of the most beautiful visions that you could play a role in ever executing. Giving a hardworking, incredible, talented binational community a place, not just a significant place in our state's future, but in our country's future, in a global future. And this would not have at all been possible without the leadership of Dr. Shidori and Dr. Wicker. Dr. Shidori, would you please stand up? I think we need to recognize you, please, sir. And I wish Dr. Wicker were here so we could also recognize him as well. But Dr. Wilson, with this vision and your leadership, Dean, all of us, really, this is a monumental step in what is an important component of El Paso's economic development future. With better jobs, with better opportunity, really an opportunity for some of the most talented, passionate, creative, innovative students in all of America. And I'm so privileged to have played a role in that. Thank you so much, Dr. Wilson.
And you can see why I like her. Senator Céasar Blanco was raised in El Paso, and after high school, he continued his family tradition of military service in the United States Navy. He graduated from the University of Texas at El Paso and continued his public service by working for 3 members of Congress representing El Paso and West Texas. He serves on several prominent committees in the Texas State Legislature, including the Higher Education Committee, Health and Human Affairs, Transportation, and Veterans Affairs. He's been a great supporter of El Paso and of UTEP in the state legislature. This building is funded by the people of Texas, and we really appreciate the support we receive from the people of Texas whom he represents so well. Senator.
Good morning. Thank you, President Wilson. Appreciate your leadership. It's great to be here and on this beautiful campus. You know, as a graduate, I have such fond memories of coming to school here, from the parking tickets that I used to get when I used to park way out there in that neighborhood, and to the tailgate parties that we used to have when we were down here. But let me stop there before I get myself into trouble. But it's truly a privilege to be here on such a momentous event for this groundbreaking here for the UTEP's Aerospace Center. I want to thank President Wilson, Chancellor Milliken, Dean, Congresswoman, my colleague Joe Moody, who we work very strongly together and to ensure that our institutions of higher ed here in El Paso receive its fair share, as well as other elected officials, a judge and the mayor. And all the community leaders. Everyone here has a part in this success. 2 decades ago, as we heard from the Congresswoman and President Wilson, UTEP became a research university. And that happened through determination. It happened through hard work. Hard work from the faculty, hard work from the staff that you see here today, and hard work from these students as well. They did this while maintaining this steadfast commitment to making sure that we have accessibility, that this institution is open to everyone in our community, no matter the socioeconomic background, no matter your race, no matter the zip code that you grew up in. This was a place that you can come to move ahead. Not only are 40% of our students enrolled here not only are 40% of our students enrolled here are women, but most students attending this program are Latino, and that's important. Many come from modest backgrounds, many come from Mexico, and many of them, importantly, are the first to receive an education that their families weren't able to achieve. So UTEP is really setting that standard for this equitable education, for defying the national trends or the statistics, especially for engineering students. From the engineering lecture halls to the WM Keck Center for 3D innovation, UTEP has really built a pathway for so many, a pathway to prosperity for thousands of students. And this is done by building student learning in the classroom with the skills that they need to be successful out in the world, and really developing cutting-edge, leading-edge technologies into their labs. Already existing research centers have prepared countless engineering students for the workforce, especially in aerospace, in defense, and as well as in manufacturing industries. And we've developed a rare capability in urgent demand to give our STEM talent to deal with this crisis that we have regarding STEM talent. But today we're here to recognize that transformation, this funding that we're receiving from the University of Texas System Board of Regents, that's really going to help bolster our community. This center, not only is this a groundbreaking on construction, but it's really the start of a very exciting new chapter, not only for our institution, but for our community. I think it's a testament to the move that UTEP made 2 decades ago, of making sure that we're developing those research capabilities with our homegrown talent, making sure that we're focusing on aerospace defense, energy, and advanced manufacturing. And it's no secret that with this state-of-the-art facility, we're going to be able to expand that type of research that occurs here at this wonderful institution. We're going to give people from El Paso, students from El Paso, that hands-on experience to be successful in the world. I've had many conversations with Dr. Shiduri about that type of experience. You can't just provide the education, but when you're giving that hands-on experience, they're ready to hit that workforce. And that's why they're recruiting people from this institution. So we're going to be doing things like rocket engines, drones, launching all kinds of great stuff, and that's a lot of fun. I wish I could sign up for a program like this, but unfortunately we're stuck in the legislature, right, Joe? But this is an investment in higher education. It's an investment in our students. It's an investment in our community, and it's really an investment in our regional economy. So as we start this next legislative session, the 88th legislative session, it's quickly approaching. Rest assured that this delegation is going to continue to work hard to make sure that we're bringing back El Paso's fair share with our institutions of higher ed, and we're going to work hard to make sure that this institution continues to be a success. Picks up, go Miners. Thank you so much. With that, I'd like to present Dr. Wilson a resolution from the state of Texas for all the hard work and leadership that you have provided our community.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Representative Tony Gonzalez represents Texas District 23, the largest by area in the state, stretching from the outskirts of El Paso all the way to San Antonio, and it includes our Aerospace Test Center out there in West Texas. And as the university president, I think it's a really good idea to test rocket engines outside of the city. Just keeping an eye on you guys back there. He is an advocate for Hispanic higher education, and he serves in the House Appropriations Committee. He could not be with us today, but I'm pleased to introduce Rodrigo Estrada, his regional district director, who has a letter that the congressman has shared with us.
Good morning, buenos días a todos. On behalf of Congressman Tony Gonzalez, I would like to congratulate the leadership and faculty at UTEP on this historic investment in regional competitiveness. As a border city, El Paso has historically been home to a robust manufacturing sector. From the apparel manufacturing here in El Paso to the rubber manufacturing down in Marathon, the West Texas region as a whole has long sustained a strong manufacturing base. However, manufacturing has changed and now requires a broader set of skills and knowledge, which is why the congressman believes that the Center for Advanced Aerospace or the Center for Advanced Manufacturing and Aerospace is critically needed to carve out a new comparative advantage for the region. Once complete, this center will bridge the gap in capabilities for aerospace and manufacturing by providing the necessary training, technology, and leadership to empower our region's young and diverse workforce to compete globally. Not only will the center reflect our comunidad's raíces in manufacturing, but it will also constitute a cutting-edge investment in our region's future industries like aerospace. It is the congressman's hope that the center, once complete, will provide a boost to ongoing regional efforts to make West Texas a strategic national hub for manufacturing and aerospace. The congressman believes that reclaiming aerospace and manufacturing dominance starts here at UTEP. As both a leading Hispanic serving institution and a national leader in additive manufacturing, UTEP is the region's premier catalyst for human capital and regional competitiveness. In closing, Congressman Tony Gonzalez would like to personally congratulate President Heather Wilson and her phenomenal team for pushing the needle in advanced manufacturing and aerospace exploration. Thank you, and go Miners!
So thank you for being here today. In a moment, we'd like to invite our platform party to our ceremonial groundbreaking and some photos over here to the audience's left.
Get this camera right here. Let's get the shot. Okay, we're going to go on the count of three.
The sharpened
Sharpened down. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey! All right.
Everyone good? Everyone good? Thank you very much. Thank you.